Hey everyone, it's Kathy, aka Octavia. It says ring for a smile. My addition to this is ring for a smile, a real smile, a true smile, and to release fears. Spirit said, and that's what I have for you. Thanks for tuning in. Oh my gosh. Okay, Spirit got jokes today. That was kind of funny. I like that one, Spirit. I want to talk about frauds, clones, doppelgangers in the metaphysical, in the spiritual realm. Oh, I probably should get some oil on my hands. A bit dry. Yeah, so before I get started, I want to, if you don't want to watch this, you can definitely fast forward. You're not hurting my feelings. The goal, the purpose is to put the message out there. All right. So I want to talk about a few things today. And it's in general, but it has a topic. Let me say that. It has a topic sentence as well, but it's in general. And I do not mean general as in the military. Okay. For those that are out there that are, they just take things too far. All right, I got some oil in my hands. It's people out there, frauds, clones even. They're lying about my past in general. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because it keeps coming out in the dream state. They're lying about what took place while I was a teenager, what took place while I lived in a certain home. And the energy of the home, like, I'm not dumb. Not in any way, okay? I want to be specific. And there's no offense to those who are when I make those statements. It is to differentiate between those who are dumb, and I'm not talking about born into this world and they're, dumb. I'm talking about dumb and the meaning of it in the spiritual. That's what I've always been saying, and people might not be aware of that, but that's what I'm talking about. So I wanted to make myself clear with that today. Okay, like I was saying, there are people in the dream states that have been pretending and putting up illusions, or should I say, doing some type of programming to try to state a truth, which is a lie. Okay, to try to make it true. They're trying to force, or should I say manipulate. Manipulate is the better word. Thank you, Spirit. A situation where it's coercive and it borderlines gaslighting. No one could ever make me believe what happened in my past at a certain age, in a home, in a place even, that's different from what I lived. See, it's people that lie to people, but you cannot lie to me. And I shuffled the deck and we got the tower at the bottom. And there's a reason why I'm saying this at the top of the deck, Six of Cups. They're trying to be deceitful, or they're deceiving, or they believe that they're deceiving someone. All right. But they're being seen for the manipulators. I heard the hoarders that they are. All right. They're being seen for it. Because there was a masculine involved, the Page of Wands, that was getting some type of fame, fortune, recognition, reward, popular influence even, that was never in my home, not physically. And what they're doing by manipulating the dream states, forcing dreams calling my neighbors and the people surrounding me, thinking that they're doing magic. Okay, having them put this here, and then you knock here, bang on the wall over here, put this against the ceiling, playing the electricity. I'm go up to her kitchen, and then you do such. No, hang out in the bathtub. No, I'm going to let you be upside down from her ceiling type stuff. The people in present day, while they go and they make program code to make these folks think that they're really doing some type of magic. It's programming in code. When I was a teenager, there was no such thing as Wi-Fi. When I was a teenager, there was a such thing as the internet, but it was not called the internet. We called it dial up. We called it AOL, to be specific. We called it net zero. We called it exactly what we use to access the internet. We don't do that anymore. We call it the internet. When there was a specific difference back then, and these young folk, as well as the mentally challenged, whether it is disturbed or disabled, and I'm trying to get better at stating things, because I really have no offense against anyone. I don't wish anyone harm except for those who have harmed me. I don't wish anyone ill except for those that have tried to make me ill and that were successful in making me ill in the recent past and in my far past, in the distant past. But you can't lie to me about my own life and my own energy. It's not possible. Like, I'm not suffering from any type of mental incapacity. So you can't show me in a dream state myself as a teenager. Number one, I'm looking at me. I wasn't even interacting as me. I was looking at me. Number one, I know it's fake. How am I watching me? But I don't know who I am. So that tells me whomever it was that was helping me to see this, that was moving throughout the home and things of that nature, who is that person? To the metaphysical, spiritual realm, police and federal agents out there. Who is that person? Okay, that's the number one question. I heard that's the topic. Who is that person? Whomever they are, they're false. I heard flagrant. It's almost like it's a flagrant foul. Here, something is amiss. Spirit says something is amiss. Something is corrupted. And it sounds like it's the program. Oh. Spirit said it's the matrix. It's corrupted. And they don't want anyone to see this. Because I was never involved in matrix, not as a teen. I wasn't involved in matrix things. There was no such thing as fact. We didn't even use that word until the film became known. I'm going to shuffle the deck here because when I see this here, this Three of Pentacles, they're trying this Nine of Wands energy, okay, which represents that Knight of Swords, that Hermit energy, this man that I used to work with when I was a grown adult in the API office of IRM within the State Department. He is a grown man. This man got to be 60, 70, okay, plus. Trying to act like he was working with me. There is no way. And that some car energy or some forward movement was some heavily burdened thing. Okay, with the Ten of Wands, the Chariot. There's no truth to that. Not at all. There is no truth to it. And Spirit is saying, how can they say this? This is also represents someone being ill. Okay? Someone being sick, someone with burdensome, laden duties, heavy on the responsibilities here. It's not true. And then trying to illuminate the single person. That's the only truth here that's relevant. Is that yes, as a teenager, I was single. I commingled, but I was single. I never married anyone. And that's the problem, see? See, that's the problem because they're like, how could that be? That's because I never coexisted with anyone. Now, this sun card also represents, no, we just gonna leave it at that because sometimes I feel like we delve as tarot readers, we delve into the signs and we shouldn't. There was no King of Swords involved. This person is trying to have a new beginning off of a false past narrative. And we have also involved the Page of Cups in some type of romance. It's not true. There is no beginning to my life story as a teen in the household. And like I was starting to say earlier, and I ended up making a different point, but it was an additional point. That household energy combines my parental household as well as my grandparental household. I can feel it in the energy. That's why I know it's fake. I know it's fraud. These places exist in two different areas of the United States. One is on the East Coast and the other is in the Midwest. They're not the same. See, I have to touch back on the fact, and should I say the problem, all right? The problem, let me get me some sage up under my desk, all right? Because they like to lie about this false Oshun God that they work with, that I've never worked with. Never. I never needed a false Oshun God I never played or tampered with Egyptian gods. Why would I do something against the deceased, against my ancestors in some capacity, against people that I revered and loved? And I do have love for the Egyptian mythology because I don't believe it's a myth. But why do they label it that? They're mixing up the households. They're throwing in tidbit pieces of Egyptian history. That's real. In fact, it's tangible. You can go and freaking touch the pyramids and touch the hieroglyphics and the ancient pieces that they've dug up out the ground. Why are we calling it a myth? And I don't mean to say verses, but with the Greek mythology, where are all those Greek gods buried? Where's all of those ancient artifacts that the Greeks gods had? Where are those bones and such of Pegasus and the giants that they had? I'm just throwing it out there. I like both of them. I get it. We're supposed to learn from the past. We say it all the time. So they're trying to lie about my past with these fake ass dreams to a community, okay, with the efforts to block my money. 3 of Wands, okay? They want to block my money. That's the deceit here. That's what's relevant. They want to move forward, or they want to leave, or they call themselves leaving. Oh, well, I was in the home with her helping until I left, which is a lie. They were never in that home helping me do not one darn thing. Nothing. Magician. And it flew out and slid across the desk. This is someone playing around with programming and code. Like I keep telling you. They're lying. Yeah, they have all the tools because they work at a federal government agency and they're misusing and abusing the federal technology. And federal technology, I hate to say it, if you all haven't picked up on it yet, our social security numbers, our birth certificate information, your driver's license number, for example, name, address, birth date, things of this nature, is all within federal government technology. So if there is someone at their desktop, their work computer, not anywhere else, they're using what's been assigned to them, their work phone, their work laptop, their work desktop, to try to manipulate the energy and the synergies surrounding me and you, possibly, collective, or those, should I say, those of you that decide to watch my videos, because I know they have talked to you and made you believe that you should not. Don't trust me. But you're dealing with individuals, and I hear masculines that aren't to be trusted. So which is the right thing to do? This person is a liar. They left to go be and do something foolish, right? With the fool card, to hold on to me, to hold on to my money, to manipulate it. That's what they want. See? Oh, we're going to make her money funny with the Two of Pentacles and the Wheel of Fortune. We'll take her money and we'll give it to her, some of it, not all of it. But see, somebody gets Two of Pentacles while somebody gets 3. You see that there? Because you have to remember that first initial coin is what was the investment. And we already saw the Two of Coins. So those, you get it? Yeah, they're liars. And we'll give the rest to this other person here, this Page of Pentacles, that did not exist in my home when I was a teenager. Had nothing to do with my house. They know what little tidbits of my life that they know because I worked there, because I posted it on Facebook. You get what I'm saying? And now they're trying to combine all of this stuff that they know, and it's false. I mean, when I tell you, it doesn't even make sense. It's like someone just wakes up in the morning and they just think, oh, I'm going to throw this together. If they put no thought and effort into it, just freaking clueless. And I hate to give them that. To stand in defense against me, against my own life, my own past. How are you going to try to say that you're going to give my money to a Page of Pentacles? This is a man when I'm a woman. There was no man pretending to be me when I was a child. These people are lying to be defensive against me while they hide or hold on to my money that I have manifested, that I've earned. Okay? To keep some type of King of Swords. King of Swords is supposed to represent the truth. I'm hearing, you're prepared to tell the truth. No, what am I hearing? The truth and nothing but the truth. So help you God, to be honest. I don't know. I'm sure that's not exactly how they say it in the court system. But yes, they're trying to say that the Empress is the Leo. No, I hear no, sir. How can you say that Octavia Hamilton, that was my name back then when I was a teenager, living in that home. I was not born a man, nor am I a man now. This masculine refuses to get out of my energy, and he also is the Page of Pentacles. He has nothing to do with being the Empress. So that the Earth Angel, Temperance energy, can be with the false family. That Earth Angel used to be my spiritual tribe. Everyone's being deceived. As soon as we do something truthful in our dreams, something that we manifested, something that we created with our own imagination, here comes the government employees to intervene, to interfere, if you will, with something that they've manufactured with programming code. Because this person, the Knight of Swords, who is also the Hermit, who is also the Nine of Wands, all right, who is also wanting this behavior, the booty banging, wants to have my new opportunity or to control it, or wants to be responsible for it as if he has some type of power and authority over me, because he wants to end his Four of Cups energy. Yeah, he been knocked out the box to cause heartbreak to the Queen of Cups, which is myself. Because the truth is that he is also the Seven of Swords energy. The Knight of Swords, he's also this Seven of Swords energy, which is this Ripley's Believe It or Not. Truth or illusion, as the Oracle cards come out and say. He's this Nine of Wands energy. This supposed wounded warrior that has fought 9 rounds and is wounded here and really supposed to have some type of mental or brain injury. Not clearly representing the facts of this person's life because they supposedly don't remember because they've been wounded, right? But they're still alive and strong enough to fight another battle. Do you see this representation here? 7 of Swords. It's a lie. It's an illusion. And people can't tell. Look at that. What I'm saying is the truth. This is the truth. They want to steal. He wants to steal something from me. Or already has. We've got Justice here. They want to give justice to some King of Wands energy. Some masculine, they said don't even call him a masculine, call him a male. Some male who can't control his wand. This is a sex fiend. This is the true nympho. That had nothing to do with my household as a teen, as when I was growing up, and nothing to do with my life. Period. I didn't meet these men until I was 20-something years old. They were not in my household, not involved in my life. This is what the government does. They go back in your past and they make it all fake and phony with programming code. And they take it and then they tell you you're done. Because that's how they hang on to that 10 of Cups false family. They're trying to cause somebody stress, anxiety, and worry to a Hierophant, a Taurus, or to an organization. We've got devil energy or a devil masculine. The Page of Swords is watching this devil energy, or this could also be someone in some type of, I heard, actual bondage. So they're doing something of that sort. When we have the Queen of Wands coming out right behind the devil energy, being hidden with the moon. As if, oh no, Octavia didn't do anything actual when she was a teen. They don't know what the hell I did. And they can't figure it out. That's the reason why they're fabricating things and lying. So that someone can be put to rest. A Queen of Pentacles is probably an old ass person. See, the Hermit is watching illusions, or they call it options, but really it's illusions. All right. That's what it represents in tarot. It represents illusions. And they're trying to murder or emasculate a high priestess with the 10 of Swords here. I heard compliance. So they don't want someone to have intuition, intuitivity, innovation, a new opportunity. This is what they do possibly to their coworkers or their employees or something of that sort. When it has nothing to do with the job. They don't want you to know stuff because possibly they don't know stuff. They make it up with illusions. And it's been going on for so long. It's within the synergy or the dynamics, right, of how the world has been operating now. People pick up on it like that because it's within the API programming and Facebook. Spirit is yelling out fraud to me. Oh, okay. Like my ears hurting. Spirit is yelling, oh, they're just yelling fraud. It's loud and it's like in my mind. It's how I communicate with Spirit. They're yelling and it's to the point where my ear. Yeah, pissed off to the level of pissed offness. They've been lying to the divine. They've been lying to source. They've been lying to the universe, the cosmos. They've been lying to outer space. Different realms. You know, Spirit is showing me 4D gaming consoles. I've been figured that out. I've been trying to tell people that, yeah, you can use a gaming console to access different dimensions. Go for it. But know that it's not real. You're accessing the matrix because of how you're using it. And then we got making someone walk away with this 8 of Cups, a hangman energy. Right? So they were blocking the Queen of Wands, which is the sexual passion, the ambition. You're blocking that with the moon, claiming that they're hiding that from me as a teenager to then force me to walk away once I realize I'm in a hangman energy. This hangman energy doesn't represent enlightenment because they were blocking that, right? They gave the Ace of Cups to someone else. And then it was all of those swords after, the Seven of Swords, right? They were still in that. They don't want you to be aware, self-aware, or they didn't want me to be, or that's what they're trying to say with this illusion. I heard blocked. They pissed off the right ones, I'll say. And it's time for the karma. This hangman represents no sexual activity. Yeah, they're showing me inactivity because they want the King of Cups and the Knight of Wands. That's who they want. Then they want to do some quick communication to the Knight of Cups. Guess who the Knight of Cups is? A romantic interest, because they're both demon possessed as well. And the Queen of Swords can be the star. But look at the next card. Conflict of interest, chaos, confusion, because it's no truth there. I heard no truth abound. There's no truth to that at all. And then claiming that the household or the marriage was some type of Gemini AI. Because when I see this card, I'm reading it intuitively. It does say the lovers, but that the sexual interaction had to do with Gemini AI. There's no truth to that. Gemini AI is brand new. It didn't exist when I was a teenager. It didn't exist then. They're lying. They're lying about this Section 8 witchcraft that they continually do. Programming code, which they call, Spirit is yelling false. Yeah, because it is false. But this is what they use. They claim, oh, look, my investment went from 1 pentacle, right? Investment, 7 of Pentacles. And now it's at 8 of Pentacles. No, it's really just Section 8 programming code. Virgo, false backwards engineering, robbing people blind without their knowledge or awareness because it's all in the metaphysical, because it's a lie. Those are Spirit's words, not mine. I was telling you what Spirit told me to say. Yeah, we got people playing both sides here. Being two-faced. Duality. That's what this card represents as well. Someone being two-faced, someone being the warrior, and then look at this person that's half naked. No, there's no truth to that, as if only the warrior, the fighter, the defender, which this Nine of Wands claims that he is one, which I haven't seen that. All I've seen is him cause trouble, disruption, get his lustful kicks on. If Spirit said, just say, get his rocks on. Okay, so that's the whole purpose. He's trying to, you rock my world. No. Nobody rocks my world like you do. Spirit just showed me those words. Okay, 8 of Pentacles. Nobody rocks the Nine of Wands world the way that I do. And to cause corruption of the funding or the earning or the money to anyone who grew up and left the house. Yeah. So this new beginning could be some backwards, upside down ass fucking. And they can say, no, I don't want to see it, or I don't choose you. The Page of Cups never has to choose Octavia. The Page of Cups was never around in the first place. They don't know my story. Look, you see how I just put the whole deck there. They don't know my story. They know my address, unfortunately, because I worked for a man who now is a government employee, who was not a government employee at first. Government employees aren't even supposed to know their employee. Look, what I'm saying is the truth. They're not supposed to know their employee's home address. That's being nosy. That's invasion of privacy. And then sitting up there, they said stereotypically, they're not supposed to know. Claiming that you the side piece. Oh no, they're my side piece. It's all programming code fantasy with these flying monkeys. these delusions, these dirty butterflies. They're like, don't call the butterflies dirty. That's what the F that the butterflies did to me. That's why I don't like them. Everybody's like, oh, butterflies this and butterflies that. I'll kill a damn butterfly in the spirit because it's a lie. And that's possibly, look, I can't freaking make it up. Oh my God. It took me by surprise. Magician, I already explained this to you. Illuminated the sun. Magician illuminated. I'm done. I just wanted to talk about this fraud, this corruption, calling themselves playing around in my spiritual waters, my spiritual realms, my dream states. I needed to discuss this because it keeps happening. You lying on my parental's home, my parental unit's home. You lying on my grandparental's home. You lying on my upbringing, how I was raised, who raised me, because those adults that were in that home were not even my parents, not one of them. Not one of them. And the way that they behaved, there is no way. You know, tell the truth and shame the devil. That's all I have to say. I thank y'all for tuning in. I'll catch you next time if you want.